men over 75. When most of the world assumes certain doors have closed forever, there is a group of Spanish gentlemen who are quietly proving otherwise. Not through expensive treatments, not through synthetic interventions, but through something so simple, so rooted in the Mediterranean tradition that it almost seems too humble to mention. And yet, when we look closely at the daily habits of these men, particularly in the coastal regions of Spain, we find a pattern that modern science is only now beginning to validate. These men, well into their 8th and 9th decades, report vitality, firmness, and performance that would make men 30 years younger envious. The secret is not complicated. It involves 3 natural ingredients that have been part of Spanish kitchens for centuries, combined in a way that works with the body's natural design. Over my years of studying traditional wellness practices around the world, few discoveries have impressed me as much as this one. Let me be clear about something from the start. When we talk about male vitality at 75 and beyond, we are not discussing some mythical fountain of youth. We are talking about the body's remarkable ability to respond when it is given what it truly needs. You see, the assumption that performance must decline dramatically with age is based on a fundamental misunderstanding. Yes, aging is natural, the body changes, and that is as it should be. But the severe decline that so many men experience is not inevitable. It is the result of years of nutritional deficiency, poor circulation, hormonal imbalance, and inflammation. The Spanish men I'm referring to have maintained something that most modern men have lost. They have kept their bodies in a state where blood flows freely, where tissues remain responsive, where the delicate balance of hormones continues to function. And they have done this not through medical intervention, but through daily habits so simple that they are often overlooked. The foundation of their approach centers on extra virgin olive oil. Not just any olive oil, but the cold-pressed, unfiltered variety that carries the full spectrum of polyphenols, antioxidants, and healthy fats that make this oil one of nature's most powerful medicines. For thousands of years, olive oil has been revered in Mediterranean cultures, not only as food, but as a healing agent. The ancient Greeks called it liquid gold. Spanish families have passed down the tradition of consuming olive oil daily, often taking a tablespoon first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. What modern research has revealed is that this practice does something profound for male vitality. The monounsaturated fats in olive oil support the production of testosterone. They provide the building blocks that the body uses to manufacture this essential hormone. Without adequate healthy fats, testosterone production falters, but there is more. Olive oil contains a compound called oleocanthal, which acts as a natural anti-inflammatory agent in the body. Inflammation is one of the silent destroyers of male performance. When the delicate blood vessels that supply the intimate areas become inflamed, they narrow, blood flow decreases, sensitivity diminishes. The body struggles to respond even when desire is present. By reducing systemic inflammation, olive oil helps restore the pathways that make performance possible. But Spanish men do not consume olive oil alone. They pair it with raw garlic, and this combination creates a synergy that is far more powerful than either ingredient by itself. Garlic has been used medicinally for over 5,000 years. Ancient Egyptian texts describe it as a source of strength and endurance. Roman soldiers ate garlic before battle. Traditional Chinese medicine has long recognized its ability to move blood and clear stagnation. When we examine garlic through the lens of modern science, we find that it contains a compound called allicin, which is released when the garlic is crushed or chopped. Allicin stimulates the production of nitric oxide in the blood vessels. Nitric oxide is the key to male performance. It is the substance that signals the smooth muscle in the blood vessels to relax, allowing them to expand and fill with blood. Without adequate nitric oxide, an erection simply cannot occur, regardless of desire or stimulation. This is why so many pharmaceutical interventions target this exact mechanism. But garlic does it naturally, gently, and without the side effects that come with synthetic compounds. The third element in this Spanish tradition is raw honey. Not the processed, heated honey found in most supermarkets, but raw, unfiltered honey that still contains all of its enzymes, pollen, and beneficial compounds. Honey has been called the nectar of the gods, and for good reason. It provides the body with a source of natural sugars that are absorbed slowly, providing steady energy without the insulin spike that comes from refined sugars. For men over 75, stable blood sugar is essential for maintaining hormone balance and preventing the fatigue that can interfere with intimate moments. But honey does something else that is particularly valuable. It contains boron, a trace mineral that has been shown to increase free testosterone levels and reduce estrogen. As men age, the balance between testosterone and estrogen often shifts unfavorably. Estrogen levels creep up while testosterone declines. This imbalance contributes to reduced libido, difficulty with performance, and even physical changes like increased abdominal fat. The boron in raw honey helps restore this balance naturally. When combined with olive oil and garlic, honey becomes part of a formula that addresses multiple aspects of male vitality simultaneously. So how exactly do these Spanish men use these three ingredients? The traditional method is beautifully simple. Each morning, before breakfast, they take 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Into this oil, they crush 1 fresh clove of garlic. They allow it to sit for just a few minutes, letting the allicin develop. Then they add 1 teaspoon of raw honey and mix it thoroughly. This mixture is consumed slowly, often with a small piece of whole grain bread to make it more palatable. The taste is strong, certainly, but these men understand that powerful medicine does not always taste like dessert. This daily ritual takes less than 5 minutes, costs almost nothing, and provides benefits that extend far beyond intimate performance. The olive oil supports heart health, brain function, and joint mobility. The garlic strengthens the immune system, reduces blood pressure, and protects against infection. The honey provides minerals, enzymes, and natural energy. Together, they create a foundation of wellness that allows the body to function as it was designed to, even in the 8th decade of life. But there is a second method that these men employ, particularly when they want to enhance performance for a specific occasion. This involves a topical application that may surprise you. They take the same olive oil, warm it slightly so that it is comfortable to the touch, and massage it directly into the lower abdomen, just above the pubic bone, and along the inner thighs. This area is rich in blood vessels and lymphatic channels that connect directly to the pelvic region. When olive oil is massaged into this area with slow, circular motions, it penetrates the skin and stimulates local circulation. The warmth of the oil, combined with the gentle pressure of the massage, encourages blood to flow more freely into the tissues below. For men who have experienced reduced sensitivity or difficulty achieving firmness, this simple practice can make a remarkable difference. It is not a trick, and it is not temporary. It works by encouraging the body to do what it naturally wants to do, which is respond to touch, warmth, and stimulation. The key is consistency. When this massage is performed daily, ideally in the evening before bed, the cumulative effect builds over time. The tissues become more responsive. Circulation improves, sensitivity returns. Now, some men enhance this topical application by adding a small amount of crushed garlic to the warmed olive oil. They strain it after a few minutes to remove the solid pieces, leaving behind an oil infused with garlic's active compounds. This garlic-infused oil is then massaged into the same areas. The allicin in the garlic, when absorbed through the skin, has a localized effect on blood vessel dilation. Men who use this method report a noticeable increase in warmth and sensation in the treated areas within just a few days. Over the course of 2 to 3 weeks, many experience a restoration of morning firmness, something they had not felt in years. This is not magic. It is simply the body responding to support. When we give the tissues what they need, when we stimulate circulation naturally, when we reduce inflammation and support hormone production, The body remembers how to function. Let me address something that may be on your mind. You may be wondering whether this approach can truly make a difference for a man in his 70s or 80s, especially if he has struggled with performance issues for many years. The answer is yes, but with an important caveat. The body's ability to respond depends on several factors. A man who has maintained relatively good overall health, who does not smoke, who keeps his weight within a reasonable range, and who stays physically active will typically see faster and more dramatic results. A man who has multiple health complications, who takes numerous medications, or who has significant vascular damage may experience more modest improvements. But even in these cases, the benefits are real. I have seen men who had given up hope begin to experience changes they thought were impossible. The key is patience and consistency. Natural remedies work with the body's own healing timeline, not against it. They do not force a response. They create the conditions that allow the body to heal itself. The Spanish men who maintain explosive performance into their 70s and beyond do not rely solely on these three ingredients. They live within a broader context of health that supports vitality. They walk daily, often for miles, maintaining cardiovascular fitness that keeps blood flowing efficiently throughout the body. They eat a diet rich in vegetables, fish, legumes, and whole grains. They consume wine in moderation, particularly red wine, which contains resveratrol and other compounds that support vascular health. They maintain social connections and emotional intimacy with their partners. They do not view intimate performance as separate from overall health. They understand that the body is a unified system, and when one area thrives, all areas benefit. This holistic perspective is something that modern medicine often misses. We have become accustomed to treating symptoms in isolation, taking a pill for this problem and another pill for that one, without addressing the underlying patterns that create disease in the first place. For men over 75 who want to adopt this Spanish approach, I recommend starting gently. Begin with the morning ritual of olive oil, garlic, and honey. Take it daily for at least 2 weeks before adding the topical massage. This gives your body time to adjust to the internal changes first. When you do begin the massage, start with just the olive oil, warmed and applied with gentle pressure. After a week, if you feel comfortable, add the garlic infusion. Pay attention to how your body responds. You may notice increased warmth, tingling sensations, or a general feeling of vitality in the pelvic region. These are positive signs that circulation is improving. Some men also notice improvements in urination, particularly a stronger stream and less nighttime waking. This is because the same circulation that supports intimate function also supports prostate health. It is worth mentioning that these benefits extend beyond the physical. Many men report feeling more confident, more alive, and more connected to their own masculinity when they begin this practice. There is something deeply affirming about experiencing your body respond in ways you thought were lost forever. It affects mood, self-image, and even relationships. Partners often notice the change not only in physical performance, but in attitude and presence. A man who feels vital and capable carries himself differently. He engages with life more fully. This psychological and emotional dimension of male vitality is just as important as the physical mechanics, and yet it is rarely discussed. We tend to reduce male performance to a purely mechanical function, as if it exists in isolation from the rest of a man's life. But the truth is far more complex and far more beautiful. When a man reclaims his vitality, he reclaims a part of himself that touches every aspect of his existence. Now, let me be specific about what you can expect if you commit to this approach. In the first week, most men notice subtle changes in energy levels. There may be a slight increase in morning firmness, though it may not be consistent yet. Some men report feeling warmer in the pelvic region, particularly if they are using the topical massage. These early signs are the body's way of saying that it is responding. By the second week, the changes typically become more noticeable. Morning firmness may occur more regularly. There may be an increased awareness of sensation in intimate areas. Energy levels continue to improve, and many men report sleeping more deeply. Moving into the third and fourth weeks, the benefits usually consolidate. For men who have struggled with achieving or maintaining firmness, this is often when they notice the most significant improvement. The body has had enough time to rebuild nitric oxide production, reduce inflammation, and restore hormonal balance. Performance becomes more reliable, more spontaneous, and more satisfying. Beyond the first month, the improvements continue to build. Men who maintain this practice for 3 months or longer often report that they feel a decade younger. The combination of improved circulation, balanced hormones, reduced inflammation, and increased confidence creates a positive cycle that reinforces itself. Of course, individual results vary. A man who is dealing with diabetes, severe cardiovascular disease, or other significant health conditions may need more time to see results. But even in these cases, the practice is safe and supportive. It does not interfere with medications, though I always recommend informing your healthcare provider about any new health practices you adopt. The beauty of this approach is that it works with your body's natural design. There are no synthetic chemicals to metabolize, no side effects to manage, no risks of dependency. You are simply providing your body with nutrients and stimulation that support its innate ability to function. One question that often arises is whether this approach can help men who have already tried pharmaceutical interventions with limited success. The answer is yes, and in some cases, the natural approach may work better precisely because it addresses root causes rather than forcing a temporary response. Pharmaceutical interventions work by artificially increasing nitric oxide or blocking its breakdown. They can be effective, but they do nothing to address the underlying inflammation, hormonal imbalance, or nutritional deficiencies that created the problem in the first place. The Spanish approach, by contrast, works on multiple levels simultaneously. It reduces inflammation, supports hormone production, improves circulation, and nourishes the tissues. This comprehensive support often produces results that are not only effective but sustainable over time. If you have found this information valuable, I encourage you to share it with others who may be searching for natural answers to these deeply personal challenges. And if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing so you can continue learning about the natural, science-backed approaches to health that we explore each week. There is so much wisdom available to us when we look beyond the pharmaceutical model and reconnect with traditional practices that have sustained human vitality for thousands of years. As you begin this journey, remember that you are not trying to turn back time or reclaim your 20-year-old body. You are simply supporting your 75-year-old body in functioning as well as it possibly can. There is tremendous dignity in this. You are not fighting against nature. You are working with it. The Spanish men who inspired this discussion understand something profound. They understand that vitality is not about denying age. It is about embracing life fully at every stage, with all the wisdom, experience, and capability that you have earned. When you take that tablespoon of olive oil each morning, when you massage that warm oil into your skin each evening, you are participating in a tradition that connects you to centuries of men who refused to surrender their vitality simply because the calendar said they should. You are reclaiming something that is rightfully yours. And in doing so, you are not only improving your own life, but setting an example for younger men who will one day face the same challenges. Stay consistent. Stay patient and trust in your body's remarkable ability to heal and respond when given what it needs.